Okay, so I put the radio back in its cabinet and I screwed it in, plugged in the antenna here. That's actually a little too early for that. This light, I'm going to work on this a little later. So rather than stick it up at the front where it doesn't clip properly anyway, I'll just unscrew it here. Put it in this bag like that. Stick that in there. And the last thing is to reconnect these speaker wires. Not much slack in these wires here. There we go. And if you're wondering what the water sounds are in the background, yes, that's our clothes washer running. I am relegated to the basement, you know, to do this kind of stuff. A little hard to get any mechanical force onto it. I'm not sure that did anything there. Let's check it. The green one's probably okay. Yeah, it missed entirely. No, it doesn't take much to solder these back together. I mean, they're not doing any duty. They're just sitting here. Okay, let's try that. Let's really... Yeah, still not very good. I think that got it. Just put a little tape around one of those, just to lessen the chance of a short. There we go. We're all back together. Get better support. Yeah, right over there. Very good. All we need to do now is put the back on. These radios are all very similar. They have this antenna. Usually comes through a little slot here. It swings on the outside of the radio. I've always wondered why you just don't connect it up inside. Sorry about that big clunk there. Can't quite get these lined up here. You know, when this came out, I could have sworn this wasn't plugged in. And you see, look, they're missing. They're going above the pins here. How am I going to deal with this? Because the bottom has to go in the slot here, like that. Can't go down any further. The radio's not coming up. what's wrong here. This plug is from another radio or something. It shouldn't really matter. Wow. It's like it's about a 1/4 inch too high. Ah, dumb thing. Doesn't want to plug in there. I'm surprised. It's a new problem. Never had that problem before. I don't see anything special about this. Okay, let's try it again. Nothing changed, but let's try it again. I think if I force it in there, going to wreck that plug. Something's going to get wrecked because the mechanics are really bad. Well, have to deal with that. Can't say I'm quite sure how. Thing that's I'm gonna need another kind of power cord or something. It's just catching there. Kind of being a little brutal with it here. It just doesn't want to go. Okay, let's not put it together right. I'll have to get another cord for it, or do something more significant to it here. This is just no good this way. This is no good this way. Gotta figure something out here. I'm not really sure what that might be. Well, you know what? I can bend this bracket a little bit here and try to drop where this is positioned in this bracket. How would I do that exactly? I'm going to bend up one side of the metal here, bend down the other, and that'll push this down. You know what? That's not going to help because that's not what's limiting it. What's limiting it is this material here. It won't drop down far enough. Looks like I gotta cut the hole down a little lower. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, first we gotta get this plug out of here. And these are basically tamper-proof designs. They're really, not easy. Necessarily get the to necessarily get what you want. You don't make it easy to defeat these things. Wait a minute, I plan on bending this bracket. Here we go. Ooh. Hey, everything to the floor, quick. I still have production problems. Namely, I knock my cameras over. That's my production problem. It's right to a cement floor. It's darn lucky that those cameras can take that kind of punishment. Because I've dropped that camera to the floor I don't know how many times now. And a few times it's been quite a whack. So here we are. Just need to trim that down a little bit. So, I'll get my handy dandy saw here. Oops. I want to cut it down, not up. Cut it so big that the holder falls through it, the bracket that goes around the power cord. So. Okay, let's give that a try, see what we get from it. Okay, it's clipped in. No, it's not. It needs a little bending back. Okay. Now it's down low. Hey, let's see if this worked. It should work. Right in. That was not exactly the most brain-straining solution, but good enough. Antenna back in. Sure it's not upside down. There it is. Something wrong over here. This the radio is not set down properly on the chassis. What happened there? Well, I put the back on before I noticed that. Duh. Something's propping up the chassis over there. Nothing like undoing everything you just did. Okay. Probably should have checked that ahead of time here. Okay, let's see what's going on. Well, it looks fine. I got a rubber bumper in there. As you can see, the edge of it sticking out right there. And it's flat to the bottom, flat to the chassis. I have a rubber bumper on the other side too, but clearly this side is up, higher. What if I just crank it down tighter with that, with the screw? Could do that. Oh, I don't see anything propping it up. You know, it looks bent here. It looks like it's curving up right in here. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. That chassis has been bent upwards there. How about the other side? Well, the other side is flat and level. Well, how would that ever happen? I gotta take the whole radio out and bend that back down. How else can you bend that down? You need to put some kind of a clamp on it and bring it down. I push from the top of the radio. Push this down here.